There's a little update, not really any good news. I've built a third recreation of the Organiser 2. This one is the second one that's using the version 1.1 PCBs, the blue ones. And you can see that there's a different colour display in there. This is a green display. Doesn't really look very green on the camera, but it is actually pretty green here. And that's the last one I've got. I only ordered 3 displays. Now, I did this to try and see whether I'd made the first version 1.1 PCB incorrectly with respect to the power circuit, because it doesn't work. It dumps, and that works on this version. I used a different size EPROMs. Now, it does turn off, but I don't think it's actually turning off internally. I think the 12 volts for the display is still there, which is why when you turn it on you get a brief flash of the previous information. There's something strange about either the circuit or the PCB layout or the components I'm using. It's such a simple circuit. It should just work, and it does work. I've used it in the past. So I need to investigate that more. I have managed to get the first version 1.1 recreation working by ripping a track off and changing the transistor, and I think I changed the resistor value as well, but this one still not working, so I need to investigate that quite a lot more, I think, which is a shame because everything else on the board is fine. Mechanically and electrically it's really quite nice. I've also found out the reason, I think, pretty sure, why 128K datapacks don't work, and it's to do with this component here. This is a prototype 512K flash datapack. This doesn't work either for some reason. Not really sure why not. I need to investigate that as well. But this component here is actually a voltage regulator, and what it does is it takes the 21 volts, the programming voltage for the normal datapack interface, because datapacks are normally EPROMs, they're not actually flash chips. I haven't got one here, but the first datapacks were EPROMs that just sat in this sort of arrangement, and to be written to, you needed the 21 volts on the EPROM on the programming pin. Later on, this flash datapack, or one like it, came along that doesn't require 21 volts to program, it only requires 5, so this voltage regulator is used to turn the 21 volts into 5 volts. Now, I found out when I took a 128K datapack apart, it's also got that regulator in there, and when I designed the recreation I didn't really have much interest in programming EPROM datapack, so I didn't put the VPP circuit in, the 21 volts, which means you don't get 21 volts on your regulator, it doesn't turn into 5 volts, and the signal, the VPP signal that comes out, doesn't actually exist, because you can't generate it. Now, on the 128K EPROMs, it turns out that's used for, I think it's resetting the segment register, so segments don't work, so the whole datapack doesn't work. So I think that's why 128K datapacks do not work on this recreation. Also, because there's a 317 here, voltage regulator, that datapack won't work either because I don't have the 21 volts. Now, I could build another power PCB with 21 volts, but I'm not really too interested in doing that because this recreation has the 64K, well, it's a lot more than that actually, potentially. Many K of serial EPROM, which backs up the A drive rather than the databacks being the non-volatile storage and the A drive being the sort of semi-volatile RAM storage. So at the moment it looks like flash datapacks, or any datapack with that voltage regulator, won't work with the power PCB I've got on here. So that's a bit disappointing. It was something I didn't realise when I designed the circuit originally a long time ago. Also, the SD card packs, they should work because they actually don't use the programming supply. Obviously, you only need 5 volts or 3.3 volts actually to program the SD card, and that's all done on board then. So yeah, I've got some more displays on order. They haven't turned up yet, so I've got one of every colour, because you can get a yellow and a blue and the white, which I've already used, and this green here, just really to see what they look like. I mean, the green's quite nice. I think the white is probably higher contrast, but the green's quite restful, so that's quite nice. But everything on this third recreation is actually working fine. I mean, you can go to whatever you want to go to, and it's all working. I haven't got the real-time clock actually working from the hardware yet. That is something that only these boards can do, but I've been a bit more concerned with the power supply not working properly, which is a bit more serious because that will drain the battery. Don't really want to do that. But obviously, because this doesn't use battery-backed RAM, you can just pull the battery out and everything stays there, so it's not a massive problem. But yeah, that's where we are at the moment. A few things that I've built up that don't work. One thing that almost works. So catalogue of minor disasters, really, I think.